All right, I'm going to continue on with the surgery Sienna, sorry. Get my color names mixed up. One thing you can do also with these chip brushes, sometimes we put a piece of tape around them just so that if you're doing something, that metal edge doesn't dig into your item. Also, sometimes we'll dribble a little bit of super glue around here and wiggle it around, keep your loose bristles from falling out. It helps. You're still going to get some. These are cheaper brushes, but I find them perfect for this. All right, so there we go with some of that surgery Sienna. We got some of this going all over them. Oops, sound like you said mm-hmm. Got a couple puddles and the wrinkles. Now again, this is all underpainting, so if you do have some oddball spots, I'm not freaking out over it because we're going to do some more work over it. It'll layer over and just add to more of the skin layered look. Okay. Get some of these out. They're in the cracks, so it'll be kind of cool. And later they'll just be little deeper freckles, sunspots, or whatever. I don't think he caught a lot of sun. It's just age, but he's had a hard road. All right, like me. All right, so we'll throw a little bit of air on him, and we'll be right back for. We got some coagulated crimson and some blunt trauma umber to go. And you see, aside from the dermatitis tan base coat and the white, we've used 7 colors, 7, and I don't generally consider the base color as one of them that we're adding later. Really the first 2, because we don't go back to those. So we're using 7 colors on top of the base and the first breakup color, which would be that. All right, we'll be right back after I dry this up a little bit. Bye. Now the next color, I'm back after this surgery Sienna dried up. We got some air over it, and we dried it up a little bit. Now we're going to go in with the coagulated crimson in our little very watery mix here. Now the difference between coagulated crimson and the blood red is it's a little pinkier. It's based on like alizarin crimson in the formal oil color palette, as it were. So that's the crimson. It's got a little pinker tone than the blood red. And the reason I did that is we want that to work, and we got the yellows and the oranges already in there. So this is going to kind of counterbalance that. And again, we're using colors over colors to make other colors. Got it? All right. All right, so we're going to drop some of this crimson in here. Now you notice I used the reds last because in my old days, me being one of these some people, I went too heavy with the reds. And then when you go back with the yellows and the browns over them, now your head's orange. And remember what we were talking about? Orange? That's how I know that. Making mistakes. But just sometimes happy mistakes. That's good. So we're going to do red last, especially when I come back and we're going to do some airbrushing. Red will be one of the last colors I do, and I'll punch them in here and there. Although I'm always red, most people aren't. And red's not everywhere. And that way you can really select where it's going, and you're not just obliterating your whole paint job with red, making it either a pink or an orange paint job. So we're going to punch in some of this reds. Again. Might water this down just a touch with 4013. All right. This is a little strong still. Let's get some of these out. Yeah, I'm going to take her down a little bit more. We're going to wipe up some of this because that's not been reduced. Reduce this just a little bit more. Dry off our brush. We haven't really cleaned the brush. We've dabbed it off because all these colors are mixing anyways, so there's not really a big problem not doing it. Although sometimes you do want to just either change your brush or thoroughly clean it. So we're going to come in here, punch in some of these reds. These are going to be kind of the under reds, okay? Later we'll punch in ear tips, red, some of the nostrils or edging of the eyes. Lips, of course, might be. On this guy, they might be a little purpley gray red, if that's the color. But we're going to just come in, we're dropping some red in for a little life, even though this guy's closer to the other side of the spectrum, life and death here. All right. Dropping in our reds. All right, you can see you don't need fancy equipment. Just need the right mixtures, the right paint, of course. And a little technique. And a couple little under the chin, don't forget, and nose. I forgot that one a couple times probably. But we'll take care of that a little bit later with the airbrush. All right, we're almost good with this. You don't want to, again, we're not going for a total overlay of, we're covering the whole thing, but we're not trying to make them all pink. You know, that's the whole trick to these. You don't want any one color overpowering. You want them to work together. Layering and creating, you know, although we've used 7 colors spattered, all these in conjunction have probably made, shoot, I don't know, that get out your calculator. There's a lot of different mixtured colors here. Layered up, red over blue, over green, over brown, or, you know, and so forth. And that's the beauty of using these little washes and spattering, is you're getting so many more colors using these colors. Handful of colors. Now we have probably at least hundreds of colors. Behind the ears, good one. Under the ears. All right. We're almost ready for the next color. All right. Sorry if I blocked it a little. Oh, okay. Now we got a little life into this guy. And there's a couple big ones. I'm going to leave them. I kind of like some of that unnatural breakup, or, you know, not so symmetrical. Dabble off a little bit just so they don't become too obvious. So there we go. Drop a little air on this guy and we'll be right back with the blunt trauma umber. All right. See you soon. Bye. Hi, and we're back. Threw a little air over him. Now he's tacked up pretty good. Dried up, I mean. You know, the paint's not dripping that much. All right, we're going to go in with one of our near-in colors of at least the starting spatter base layering. The burnt trauma umber. Again, a little watery mix, kind of like coffee stainy. And it almost looks like there's brown already on this thing. And that's just from all the colors layering. You know, the yellow over the purples and the purples over the green create like its own brown and stuff like that. So here we go. Put a couple of these. I go less density than the rest because I want to leave room to go a little here or there. But I'll just put in some of this. It's kind of a tie-up color. And again, it's rather faint on camera, I'm sure. But there's a lot of colors. And these colors, all layered up, make so many more colors. And that's why I really dig this as a base. You know, we're doing this so I can show you each color. But once you get used to doing this, you can whip through this. Drying, you know, quick dry in between, you'll be through this section, but you'll have such much more going on in your paint job, it'll be really worth it. And it's not that much hard work. You know, and then you come in with the airbrush and we'll bring this thing, you know, over the top. All right? I mean, truly, anybody can do this. You don't have to be Tim Gore, believe me. In fact, probably better if you're not. Just all right. Look at that. We're getting near the end here. What I'm going to do is finish the brown here, do a quick dry, and then what we're going to do is we're going to seal it off with a little bit, where is this, of the transparent base. It comes with the sets, Bloodline. Lifeline, I believe. What this is the base of what makes the paint, the vehicle as it were. And it has, the reason it's white, it has a flattener in it. So we're gonna just put a little light seal. This wouldn't be like a final seal, this will just be a nice mid seal so we can continue on with airbrushing later. All right. But you can also use it with your paint. And what, you know, it keeps your body of your paint there when you reduce it, because you don't want to reduce your paint all this much to really airbrush a solid thing. Some other technique. All right, see all that cool layering and stuff we got. Look at all those cool colors. All right, I'm gonna hit this with a spot of air, and we'll come back, put our little mid sealer on there, and go to town. All right, cool. Okay, we just finished the Blunt Trauma Umber spatter. Now we're ready to just lock this down with a light seal with the transparent base. All right, we're just gonna dump a little bit of this evenly over the whole spattered base that we just did. 7 colors, plus 2 base colors, breakup colors. All right. And we'll let this dry. Let's do a little bit more on the back here. The boring back, but it'll look cool once I put some more liver spots and whatnot. Get under here. Don't forget under the chin. We'll go back because I might have. All right. Whoops. Careful of that. Under the nose. All right. Now we're ready to let this dry and we'll be back with some airbrushing. All right. See you. Okay, guys and girls, here we are. We stopped at the spatter colored base tones, and as you see, we got a lot of cool, interesting colors and modeling going on just with spatter. But I wanted to take a moment and show you the contrast from where we started and where we're at now. And here we go. This is his buddy, Cousin Erie, and you can see he was just like this, started with the raw latex color. We went in with the dermatitis tan, and then we went through several colors, 7 to be exact, and did some watery spatters, layering all these spatter colors on top of each other, creating a whole rainbow of other colors. And this is just the base spatter tones. And we're gonna come in next, we'll move you till later, and we're gonna come in and airbrush some cool little details here, some modeling, some spatter, some more spatter maybe, some freckles, hard-shelled peppercorns, and other good stuff, all right? And we'll see you in a minute. Guys and girls, and ghouls and gals, and gals and ghouls. All right, we're gonna start in with some airbrushing now that we got this beautiful marbleized kind of spattery start to our paint. On this creepy guy, Uncle Creepy. I'm gonna start out with some deep bruised purple. It's a nice tone. I got some in here already, but that's what tone we're gonna go for. We're gonna just kind of soft model this in. And I like using the preset handles. I'm not an airbrush video here, but it keeps me from over blasting a lot of paint, and it's very helpful. And so I can just softly model in some little clouds. And this is a good technique to practice with the paints, because you can really get crispy. But I just want some soft modeling here. We'll close it down a little bit. And that's something airbrush wise you can practice, and it really it works great. And you can go in a figure 8 just to start getting that thing going. You don't want it to be exact figure 8s, but you just want to kind of more like a chain link fence sort of look. All right, so I'll show you right here. So we're just going to model in softly some of this, and maybe on camera you won't see it, but I'll bring this closer. We're just going to softly blend this, and what we're actually doing is throwing another layer on here. It's all about layering with human skin, you know, or organic creature skin or monster skin. All right, so we're coming in here, we're laying down some of this neat little And see these little crossover spots? Those are when you cross over and the modeling's doubling over, but that's just another color, you know, it's a darker purple. Come in here, start popping in some, we're just kind of contouring it loosely and then tying it all together. We're really just tying it all together. And you can see some of the cool, it's like it's there but not there, it's under the skin sort of look. Let's get over here towards his eyes and face. Maybe I tightened that down a little too small. All right. Oh, just so you know, I did add a little bit of the 4011 to the paint, just to knock it down a touch, okay? Just to loosen it up a little bit as far as the saturation. Let it flow a little bit. We're going to come in here. You can kind of, I don't like drawing in all the lines and wrinkles. But we're going to put a couple in that we know are going to be there, like in the eye corners and maybe in the nostril folds. You know, we're going to come in here, a couple of these little hot spots. But overall, we're just trying to do it like we did with the spattering. We're going to come in and do a little modeling. And this is really going to just tie it all together. Any oddball spots, it just is going to bring them out beautifully. And we're going to take advantage of all those little hot spots or little rough, darker spots. They're just going to look like interesting little moments in the skin, little intrinsic moments. And really just take a natural kind of approach. I think his eyes, from being in all the graves and all the mausoleums, would be dark and sullen and kind of, you know, just dark. I went a little heavy there, but we know those are going to be dark anyway, so maybe later we'll bring in some blunt trauma umber. Nice color. I like the browns and the purples work very cool together for stuff like this. All right. And what I like to do is really just build a contrast between your base and then some of the wrinkles and tie it all in with some soft modeling. Bring in some of your wrinkles and edge it. And this gives you an overall map of where, like maybe the nose is kind of red because it's cold wherever he is a little bit. And so we just kind of work this over. So I'm going to go ahead and just finish doing this to the whole head. Excuse me. And we'll be right back, and we'll move on to the next color. All right. Hey, I'm back. You're back. Guys and ghouls, ghouls and guys. All right, we're gonna come in. I'm gonna do a little bit around the eyes and the lips. What I'm using is some of my Lifeline lip tone, lip color, and I just put a drop more of Surgery Sienna in the mix just to darken it up just a touch. All right, get this going. Do a little test. Off model onto your paper towel, not on the table. Piss me off. All right. Set a little line, light line, come in, and we just kind of drop in a little color. This is just going to be kind of a placeholder, as you can see here. Come in. Now, generally your upper lip's darker than your lower lip. Usually it's a shadow, but we'll just kind of rough these in here. That way I can start seeing the paint job come together slowly. But we're going to come in here, edge the eyes. So we kind of do a little one here, get the other one. So we just get some interesting stuff going on. A little bit, start seeing the direction of this guy. Maybe we'll put a little bit on his ear tips, okay? Just softly drop some in here. This way we're kind of placeholding where we want some of the different tones. Come back in here. Just kind of feather a little bit down here. Usually a tip in the bottom and somewhere in between a little bit, but your more dense areas at the top, and not so much on the bottom lobe. This one, your tip's probably the reddest part of the ear. Then you have more of a yellow tone. Generally, unless if you're a ghoul like this guy or a grave cemetery hanging creepy guy. You won't. All right. We're gonna get that upper lid too. Don't forget that. We'll just punch some in. Get the eye. Get the little dealy bobble in the corner of your eye. I'll just kind of edge that in there a little bit. Just a little. You can see him starting to take shape, just even with a couple little tones. Maybe feather a little bit of this around his nose, nostrils, you know, behind that nostril. Maybe get that wart, little pink. Get this one too. Maybe his chin. We'll just kind of pepper in some of that. All right. Couple of the cheeks. A little bit here. Just kind of dance in the face, bringing in some of the warm peachy tones that we made with the lifeline and bloodline together. Drop a little bit in the eye bags, but those are going to go kind of dark and sullen. We know that, or I know that. All right. Yeah, don't forget the bottom of the chin, bottom of the nose a little bit. All right, here we go. We'll feather the lids up a little more. All right, we're on to the next color, which will be probably a warmer brown or something in the blood trauma, umber, decay world, okay? I'll see you in a minute. Bye.